What is going on, family? It's your boy Paul, and we back with another episode of Ball Talk with Paul, of course. And tonight we getting straight to it, guys. We got some new head coaches in town, so we got to talk about them. Then we're going to talk about the quarterback double standard that's going on. We got to talk about championship weekend that's going down. And then we have to talk some rising NBA hoop stars and the college future star that you should definitely look out for. So we're going to get right into it. So first, we starting off with these NFL new head coaches that just got hired recently. Now, these coaches, I love their coaching style, and I like the hires for these teams. First team we have to talk about is the Tennessee Titans, hiring coach Robert Saleh, former defensive from the 49ers. This is a great hire for Tennessee because they were struggling in a lot of areas, and Robert, he's a well-rounded coach who knows how to get his team going. He is a defensive-minded culture builder. He's known for his discipline and accountability and physical defense. That's exactly what the Titans need. They need an identity reset. They needed some defensive consistency, and they needed a leader in the locker room that they can listen to without a doubt. And Saleh is definitely that. More of Robert Saleh's strengths is he has an elite feel for the front seven. Then he also gets his players to buy in, and his scheme is very flexible and knows how to adjust. Tennessee definitely becomes more tougher. They become more competitive each week. Now that they have a quarterback and a real coach, it is definitely going to be scary hours in Tennessee. I'm excited for my boy Cam Ward because he has been yearning for a coach to help him out and really develop him and his team. And I think Robert Saleh is exactly the guy for the job. So that is a great hire by Tennessee. So look out for Robert Saleh there. Next, we have to talk about the Baltimore Ravens hiring Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers last year. Now, Jesse, he's an underrated hire because he is a defensive schemer with modern concepts, which the Ravens needed desperately, being one of the worst defenses in the league at one point. Now, the Ravens already have a strong defense on paper, and this is just an upgrade for a different mindset because we all know John Harbaugh was just not fitting in the locker room anymore. Guys just stopped listening to him and buying into what he was coaching. So I think this is a good move for the Ravens because Jesse is a younger coach who has newer concepts and guys to buy into the schemes that he's drawing up. He knows how to disguise coverages and create pressure without heavy blitzing. And that's exactly what the Ravens need because we are used to seeing a Ravens defense that flies around, causes havoc, turnovers, and we just haven't seen that in the last couple of years. So this is a great hire for Baltimore, in my opinion, as well. It keeps Baltimore's defense elite and it keeps their roster championship ready. I know Jesse will implement some great new schemes for both sides of the football. So great hire by the Baltimore Ravens. Next coach we have to talk about getting hired is Kevin Stefanski. He got hired by the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this was an interesting move I didn't think would come, but being that Kevin Stefanski has won 2 coaches of the years, he develops QB-friendly systems. He has proven that maximizing play action, tight end usage, he has a great run-pass balance. It definitely benefits the Falcons because they have all the pieces that Stefanski needs to implement these new schemes. He brings a new offensive identity, just a smarter situational football coach. So the Falcons, they definitely got better with this move. I feel like I know a lot of people don't like Stefanski now because of how he handled the Shador situation in Cleveland. But I think a fresh new start and new schemes with better offensive weapons is definitely going to Stefanski implement his schemes with the team. And I think the Falcons have taken a step in the right direction with this move. We all know the Falcons are in one of the worst divisions in football. So this will definitely bring them hope to Atlanta. So I'm excited to see what Stefanski can do in the A. So for this next topic, it's going to get a little personal, guys, because you know I'm an Eagles fan, and everybody has been throwing my quarterback under the bus because we can't find an offensive coordinator. But my thing is, it is not on Jalen Hurts why we cannot find an offensive coordinator. In my humble opinion, I think it is Nick Sirianni. We are overlooking the fact that this dude has been absolutely arrogant and just a butthole at times. And coaches, they see that. They are on the outside looking in, and they see how Sirianni acts on the sideline, how he interacts with the coaches sometimes, his players. And I think it's finally catching up to him. When we first hired Sirianni, I loved his energy. I loved the passion that he showed. But now that passion is just turning into arrogance and to BS, to be honest with you. And I think that's the main reason we cannot find a coordinator. Now, if you follow me on social media, you would have recently saw that I posted that we are trying to blame Jalen Hurts when in all reality it should be Sirianni we are looking at. And that is absolutely true in my mind. It is no way an offensive coordinator does not want a quarterback who has been to 2 Super Bowls, who has done nothing but get to the playoffs every year as a starter, who has been an all pro, multiple time Pro Bowler. It is no way an offensive coordinator does not want to work with that. And not even to mention what else we have to go with them. We have Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, a top 5 O line. What offensive coordinator in their right mind would not want that situation if we did not have a coach like Sirianni? Nobody. Everybody would be running to Philadelphia. Then I had people in the comments talk about, oh, well, you guys egged Kevin Patullo's house. I understand that. Yes, that was some kids who was upset or whatever with Patullo. But let's be real, guys. If you are doing your job in Philly, if you are calling the correct plays, having the offense look great like we are used to seeing, nothing's going to happen to you in Philly. We're going to love you. We're going to praise you. We're going to give you your props when it's due. We're not going to just egg your house when we're winning and we're looking good or offensively. That is just stupid. Ask Kellen Moore. Why do you think he came to Philly? He knew what we had and the opportunity that he had to propel his career because we ended up getting him a coaching job just after 1 year with us, guys. So we have to stop this false reality that nobody wants to work with Jalen Hurts because he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards. You got to be stupid if you think that is absolutely true, man. And honestly, I think Howie Roseman is just taking his time with this move because we need an offensive coordinator who wants to stay an offensive coordinator for at least 3 to 4 years to continue to develop Jalen Hurts. And yes, that does sound funny, even though Jalen Hurts has already won a Super Bowl, but we know he still has things he could get better at, just like any other quarterback in the league. Everybody needs that offensive coordinator who can correct his guy without a doubt, and he will listen and respect what he says. So that is what we need for Jalen Hurts. And I trust Howie Roseman to make the right decision when it comes to finding our next offensive coordinator. Just like how we found Vic Fangio and he didn't want to go anywhere else. He doesn't want another head coach job. That is the type of candidate we are looking for. So if you want an offensive coordinator job and you know how to call plays for great talent and you don't want to be a head coach in the near future, please put your application into Philly, man, because we got a spot open for you. And if you remember, the last time we got booted out in the wild card round, we won the Super Bowl the next year. So strap your boots on because it's going to be a crazy ride once we find a great offensive coordinator in Philly next year. So sticking with talking about my quarterback, we have to talk about this QB double standard that is going on around the nation, guys. I am sick and tired of people bashing my quarterback just because he does not play like your favorite quarterback. He doesn't throw like your favorite quarterback. He doesn't do this like your favorite quarterback. Whatever the case may be, what you will do is respect my quarterback for what he has done in this league. Let's just call off some numbers from the quarterbacks that you guys love so damn much. And I'm not even going to name a name because I want you just to hear the numbers because I think that's what happens most of the time. Guys just get caught up in the names and not the actual numbers. So let's read off some numbers. And I'm going to let you guys guess who I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you at the end when I'm finished. First number, we have 3,600 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a QBR of 61.2. Next, we have 3,300 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a QBR of 72.8. Then we have a quarterback, 3,900 passing yards, 27 TDs, 7 touchdowns, and a QBR of 58.3. Next, we have a quarterback, 4,000 passing yards, 25 passing TDs, 14 interceptions, and a QBR of 56.0. Then we have a quarterback with 3,600 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a QBR of 65.3. Then we have a quarterback with 3,700 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns, and 13 interceptions with a QBR of 60.7. And last, we have a quarterback with 3,200 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a QBR of 55.5. So you see how that sounds, guys? Can you tell the difference between any of those quarterbacks? Could you tell me was I talking about and where and when? I don't think so. And you know why I did this? Because I want you guys to understand that just because a quarterback does not have the flashiest numbers in the world does not mean he's a terrible quarterback, especially when you have a first-time play caller on any level. Kevin Patullo never called plays, and it showed with the Philadelphia Eagles offense this year. As soon as defenses made adjustments, we looked stale. We stopped moving the ball because nothing was open. It was nowhere to go, and the OC just couldn't adjust on the fly. So let me read off the names of the quarterbacks I named in order. First quarterback was Baker Mayfield. Second was Jordan Love. Third was Caleb Williams. Fourth was Sam Darnold. Fifth was Josh Allen. And sixth, Justin Herbert. And last but not least, Jalen Hurts. So yes, Jalen Hurts did not have as many passing yards as these guys, but he had the same amount of touchdowns pretty much as most, and he threw the same amount of picks, or if not less, and his QBR was around the same just for everybody else. So my point with this post is you cannot bash my quarterback because he had a down year with a coordinator who had no idea what they were doing. If you really think this is Jalen Hurts at his best, you really do not know football. You really do not understand the type of player this guy is. And if you watch any segments of Hard Knocks, he was pushing to be more aggressive, throw the ball downfield more, get the offense in a better rhythm, get them flowing better. And we just could not do it because the play calling was so terrible. So I am going to be arguing this till I'm blue in the face, most likely. You see how I rock with my quarterback. That pitch ain't never going nowhere anytime in my lifetime because that is my guy. So I'm going to rock with him 10 toes down every time, guys. So yeah, don't always look at the numbers. You have to look at the situation when it comes to why these guys have these numbers. And this is not a knock on any one of these quarterbacks that I'm comparing Jalen to. But all I'm saying is that you cannot knock a man for having a down year with a bad coordinator. You just cannot do it. Y'all would not do it. Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Josh Allen. It just would not happen. And also, another point I want to make in this segment. Now, when black quarterbacks have turnovers, such as C.J. Stroud, who had a terrible game against the Patriots, it's all over the media. Everybody's going to blast him. Oh, C.J. looks terrible. He looks bad. He doesn't look like the player we thought he was. But when a guy like Josh Allen, though, when he has 4 turnovers in the game, oh, well, his O-line could have jumped on the ball. Oh, well, the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Oh, well, this receiver cut his route short. You see what I'm saying? The narrative is completely different why these QBs had these turnovers. And it is sickening to see that because both of these guys are talented in their own right, yes. But we cannot bash one guy for turning the ball over and give the other guy excuses. What type of sense does that make? None at all. We have to stop living in this double standard world where the black QB gets twice as much criticism than the white QB just because the media wants to give him a pass because, oh, it just didn't go right for him that day. No, it has to stop. We have to call it like we see it. If you turn the ball over 4 times, you are equally a bum as any other quarterback who did the same. I don't care what type of talent you have. If you turn the ball over, you are a bum that day. So we have to stop this in the media. Chase Daniel, he gave C.J. Stroud so much hell on his Twitter, but when Josh Allen had those turnovers, he was blaming everybody else. So we have to stop this double standard in the media, guys. Let these quarterbacks play their game. Yes, every quarterback is not going to have a great game every game. It's just impossible. And we know they are human. Humans mess up. So we have to stop with this double standard, hypocrisy-filled media. Please. All right, guys. So let's talk championship weekend now. So we have to move on to the last 2 matchups until Super Bowl weekend. It's finally here. Now, we have the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Rams for the 3rd time this year. Now, this is going to be for all the marbles to go to the championship game. Let's start with the Rams. Of course, they have their MVP candidate, Matt Stafford, who just having an impeccable season. His veteran presence has been much needed on this run. He's a trustworthy decision maker that you have to have on your team. He's also playing for his legacy on Sunday. This will be his second Super Bowl appearance if he makes it. And with two Super Bowl appearances and what they win, he would definitely be a lock for the Hall of Fame without a doubt. Now, for the Seattle Seahawks, their quarterback still has some question marks. Sam Darnold, he is trying to solidify himself as a true franchise quarterback in this league, which he has been struggling to do since he's been drafted. But with this season and his previous season of having 14 plus regular season wins, and now he's finally won a playoff game, he is looking to continue his legacy and hopefully make a championship game. Now, he definitely has the defense to do that. Seattle's defense is playing lights out. Talking, they didn't even let the 49ers score a touchdown last week. So if they can keep up that energy and Sam can just make timely throws and not turn the ball over, which he has accustomed to doing in pressure situations, the Seahawks would definitely be in this one. Rams defense, on the other hand, they are not the best remaining, but they do have some pieces that can get the job done. They have guys like Jared Verse, young defensive end who just loves to fly after guys and get around that edge and sack the quarterback. Young, he's also rushing the quarterback from the middle or the end. And they have guys like Landman, their linebacker, who can chase anybody down. He peanut punches like no other. And then they have young corners like my Bulldog brother, Kobe Durant. He has 3 interceptions for the postseason. He is what he calls himself, a land shark. Just always has a nose for the football. So this is definitely going to be an exciting one that I can't wait to watch. It's going to be hard to pick a side, especially since we've already seen these teams play twice already. Now, I have to go with the person I trust the most in this situation, and that is Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford just has the slight edge right now because, for one, he is trying to cement that legacy. For two, he has 2 dominant wide receivers in Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and then his backfield is also going as well with Kyron Williams. And as long as that defense can cause turnovers on Sam Darnold, which I believe they will do, the Rams should be in position to win this game. So give me the Los Angeles Rams going to the Super Bowl. All right, moving to the AFC Championship. We have the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos going to battle for their Super Bowl appearance. Now, the Broncos will be without their starting quarterback, Bo Nix, which will hurt them tremendously. Their backup QB, Jake Stidham, he is starting. So we will see how Jake does. But unfortunately, he only has 1 career win under his belt. So this is going to be a tall task for him. But good thing for the Broncos, they have the best defense in the league. They create turnovers, they get sacks, they play sticky coverage, they tackle well on all levels. So if they can contain the Patriots offense and Jake does not turn the ball over and can just game manage, the Broncos will have a shot in this matchup. Now, for the New England Patriots, their quarterback, Drake May, who is in his second year, he is looking to make his first Super Bowl appearance and win his first AFC championship, which is a great feat for him, especially being in only his second year. Now, their offense, they do still have some question marks. We don't know who will really step up for them in situations like this, especially going up against a hungry defense like the Broncos, who know they have to step up. Of course, they have Stephon Diggs, who was a premier receiver in his heyday. He has taken a step back, but he still is a great talent. Then they have Kayshon Boutte, who showed up big last week for them, made some spectacular catches. Hunter Henry, their reliable tight end. Ramondre Stevenson, who's a power back, and also Travion Henderson, who's their flashy and speed back to go with that. So Drake May definitely has some weapons he can go to. But against this Broncos defense, I don't know how well they will get going, especially since they will be knowing the game is on them essentially. So it depends on how Drake May plays. And yes, he has had some turnovers this postseason, which is concerning at times, but his defense has been playing well as well. Milton Williams is back. Christian Gonzalez, who is a lockdown corner, he has looked great. They just have a lot of guys that can do that. They just have a lot of guys that are versatile. Harold Landry III, a great linebacker for them as well. So it will be exciting to see. And then And then the two coaches in this matchup, Mike Vrabel and Sean Payton, two of the most respected coaches in the league. They have great feels and great minds for the game. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in this one. But guys, I cannot go with a backup quarterback in the AFC Championship who's only won one game in his whole career. I would be boo-boo the fool if I did that. You know I gotta go with those New England Patriots this weekend. It hurts my heart because if you know me, you know I can't stand them damn Patriots, man, ever since Tom Brady. But they just have the better advantage right now. And I think they would take advantage of that and go to the Super Bowl. So I have the New England Patriots going up against the Los Angeles Rams for Super Bowl 60. All right. All right, guys. So now let's talk some NBA talk because it's something that's really been bothering me these last few months, and I haven't spoken, and I really haven't spoken on it, and I really haven't spoken because I love this dude as a player, but unfortunately, he just hasn't been available recently for the Miami Heat. This player is Tyler Hero. I love Tyler Hero. If you know me, you know how hard I pull for this man, especially since the first day he came into the league. He was undersized, he was skinny, he was slow. A lot of guys overlooked him and didn't think he really would pan out in the league. But I knew that Tyler was a different type of talent, and with a little bit of development and putting on some muscle and really growing in the Heat culture, I knew he would be tough and I knew he would be a great talent, which he has been for sure. I remember his rookie year when he dropped 35 points in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. I said, man, this guy definitely has some potential, and I was excited for that. And I am still excited for him, but he cannot stay healthy. He is hurt again with a rib injury. An MRI revealed a costochondrial issue, which is going to keep him out for some more time. He's already missed because of foot injuries and wrist injuries and just small things that you would think a guy could overcome. But unfortunately, Hero has not been the guy to do that, man. In the NBA, your best ability is availability. And for a guy who is supposed to be our number one scoring option and he is never available, that is not a good thing, man. And I know Pat Riley and the front organization is getting frustrated with that, especially since especially since we just paid the man an extension to be our number one guy, and he has not shown up for us yet. Yes, he is averaging about 22 points a game, 4 rebounds with 3 assists, and shooting about 50% from the field. But he has not been available for most of the season. If I had to put a number on it, I know he has missed at least 25 to 30 games this season alone, which is terrible, especially since we are already almost halfway through the season. So if Tyler Hero does not get his health together, if he does not get his stuff, and if he is not available for the future weeks to come, I can see him being shipped out of Miami, unfortunately. I hate to say that because he is one of my favorite Heat players on the team right now, especially since with what we've seen him go through and how he's grown with us. But if he continues to do this to us, he has to go, man. I'm sorry, Tyler. I love you, bro. I wish the best for you, but you cannot continue to be in a Heat culture uniform if you are not on the court. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. So sticking with the NBA, we gotta talk some rising stars. You know, I love pointing out the guys that don't really get the credit from the media as they should. But these two guys I got right here, yeah, they are definitely hooping right now, and they deserve some flowers. First guy I got up is Keyonte George from the Utah Jazz. Keyonte is a hoop. He is underrated, but he is definitely a bucket, man. He is definitely he is definitely a bucket. He's about 185 pounds, so not the biggest guy in the world, but he is a baller. So he's an all-around shooting guard who knows how to get it done. In one of his most recent explosive games, he had 43 points, shooting 46% from the three-point line with 3 assists to go with that. So he was just giving out straight buckets that game, which he does so well. Then he followed that up with a 23-point game, shooting 46% from the field and 80% from the three-point line. So he has an extremely good handle. He has an extremely good clip. He can shoot it from anywhere. He knows how to get his teammates involved. And he is looking like a rising star for the Utah Jazz. I know they just drafted Ace Bailey in the first round, and they were hoping he would come up soon for them, but he has kind of had a development. He is still developing and still young, so that's going to take some time. Lowry marketing has been great for them as well. But Keyonte, he is the X factor right now. He is putting the NBA world on notice. So be on the lookout for Keyonte George as he continues to rise in the NBA. Next rising star I have to talk about is Mr. Julian Champagnie from the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this dude, he does not get a lot of credit and he does not get a lot of media time. But I am telling you, when he is hot, man. I'm talking scorching hot. In some of his most recent games, he had 27 points. He had 27 points, shooting 8 for 16 from the three, so that is 50%. Then in another game, another game he had 23 points, shooting 5 for 8 from the three, 62.5%, and 7 for 11 for the field, and 7 for 11 from the field, so that's 63.6%. Then another game, he had 36 points, shooting 11 for 17 from the three-point line. Then that's 64.7%. So this dude is an absolute shooter, and he is in a perfect spot because the San Antonio Spurs, they have stars. They have guys like De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, of course, Stephon Castle, and Julian, he fits the mold just fine for this team because he's a catch-and-shoot guy. He doesn't require too many dribbles. As soon as he gets that thing, he's going to let it fly, and he knows it too. I see him running to the opposite end as soon as he lets it go. That is what you want on a team like San Antonio, who is already full of guys who need the ball to score. A guy who can just catch it and shoot it and let it fly at will. So look out for Julian as he continues his impressive season so far. And I hope he continues to thrive in his role with the San Antonio Spurs. All right, guys. So let's talk. All right. So let's move to the last. So let's move to some NCAA basketball talk, of course. And I just want to highlight a young rising star who is getting his first action in the college world because he has overcome a lot. Mr. Alijah Arenas, the son of former NBA player Gilbert Arenas, he is finally back for the USC Trojans, and it has been long overdue because this dude was one of my favorite highlight tapes to watch last year in his senior year of high school. He has a handle like not too many guys have. He can shoot it from anywhere. He causes disruption on both ends. He can dribble to any spot and get spots like no other. He reminds me of his dad. He plays just like his dad, and Gilbert did a great job instilling the fundamentals in him and taking his game to the next level. You could tell he really worked with him from a child to a man. So I'm excited for this. So I'm excited for Alijah, especially because he overcame a lot to get here. For one, he was in a serious car accident over the summer. Where he wrecked his Tesla and it caught on fire and somebody had to pull him out of the car. So I'm definitely glad he got through that and healed up well from that. And then on top of that, he tore his meniscus in off-season workouts. So he couldn't really play for a couple of months because he was trying to let that recover. So now Alijah is healthy. He's feeling good all around, and he is getting his first action with the USC Trojans. In his first game, he had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. So not the flashiest numbers in the world, but he is a freshman, so he is still learning his role in the college world. But I know for a fact this dude has the skill set and he has the mindset to get to the next level. So I'm excited to see his progression as he continues his freshman year at USC. So be on the lookout for Alijah as he continues his journey in the college world. All right, guys. So that's a wrap for episode 18 of Ball Talk with Paul. I appreciate everybody rocking with me per usual. And if you And if you agree with me on anything, man, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing moving forward. And if you didn't agree with me, you can do the same thing. Let me know where I went wrong or what you would have said different or who you like over what I like. And just let me know in the comments, man. But we're going to keep this same energy, same effort every week from here on out. And I appreciate you guys rocking with me. So make sure you tune in next week because we're coming back with the same energy. And you already know I'm your host, Paul, and we're out.